Welcome back again, everybody, to Freestyle 5. It's officially the year 2012, which means that we have a great year coming up. See some amazing riding, really good videos, just a lot of good news probably that's going to be coming out this year. A lot of new riders. I look forward to seeing what's going to happen. So you'll notice that my co-host Roman Tenza is not with us today. He's on vacation, but I'm sure we'll get him back here real soon. We just want to give you a heads up. If you haven't noticed, we've been on hiatus for a little while, and that's mainly because we've been working on reformatting the show. We wanted to make sure that all these great edits that are coming out, we can keep up with them and bring them to you as they come, which means that this is now going to be a weekly show. So you can look forward to seeing us every Monday on here, so stay tuned for that. We still will continue to bring you all these great interviews that we've been collecting, as well as some really good product reviews, and try to keep you up to date on what's going on in BMX today. For now, we have a couple old interviews that we didn't get a chance to use before that we think you'd really enjoy. One's with Jamie Bestwick. He's a vert legend. I'm sure you've all heard his name before. Just an all-around good guy, really amazing rider. Has just ridiculous amounts of skills and has been an inspiration in the sport in a lot of ways. We also have an interview with Anthony Napolitan and Brian Hunt, speaking to them a little bit about the Dreamline contest from this past year that went down in Wabasha, where that's just out in the middle of nowhere somewhere, but it was a great contest from as far as I could see with all the footage and stuff. Redbull always seems to put on these amazing contests, and this definitely doesn't let the rest of them down at all. So we have a great interview with them, getting a little bit of the behind the scenes on what went down with the contest, how it happened, and everything else, some of the pitfalls that happened like during the creation of it. So for now, check out these interviews.
All right, Roman Tenza here. The big show, due tour stop 2. Portland, my hometown.
You live here.
Yeah, you live here.
Originally Colorado. Yeah. I'm with my boys, Brian Hunt,
Right.
Anthony Napolitan, and they're going to tell us about Dreamline. What's the deal with this?
Well, Dreamline is just a concept that I came up with between me and my Red Bull manager, Luke Seal. And basically the whole concept was just I wanted to have fun like on my bike again. I was getting kind of stuck into the Dew Tour contest where they're fun, but just wasn't having as much fun as I really could have.
Yeah.
So we came up
wanted
with
something more like trails-y,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, we came
Just
up
a
with the concept
bunch of jumps.
to kind of like top the elevation series that Red Bull used to do in Whistler, and just find like a dope ski resort that we could build some trails down the side of the mountain.
Brian, what did you encounter out there while doing the jumps, while building these things?
Well, Anthony asked me to be a part of filming like the promo vid for it, I guess. He just didn't want to ride him by himself, like, oh, me just by myself, riding my jumps alone. So he
Right. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
So he called me and Seth Klinger and asked us if we would be down to ride with him. And of course, I would be down to go ride the funnest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I had no idea what it looked like what it was, and got out there and my eyes just came out of my head. Like I was just so excited. We went out there and we rode it, and like first time it's so much fun. Like you're going so insanely fast.
Yeah. So it's like a roller coaster ride, huh?
Times 10. Yeah, you're just going so fast, and it's awesome to feel those type of speeds and like be in the air for that long on your bike. You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit more like trails. You're kind of chilling, you're floating, but like here it's just like whoa, and like you're flying, and
so you're kind of giving gravity like the middle finger.
More or less,
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
Probably the first 15 or 20 seconds of getting into the actual section is trails. Like we have this berm section that literally winds down the hill and there's rollers. It goes like S-berm, like downhill, and it's pretty crazy. And then once you start to get out of the woods, there's like some step on, step off stuff, and then you get into some of the big jumps.
Right.
So
Big
and it's
boys.
cool because it's
Yeah.
one line, splits into two, and then
Yeah.
it meets back up kind of once you get out of the woods into the open.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool.
Shoot, there you have it.
Dreamline.
Inside scoop, Red Bull's Dreamline, Anthony Napolitan, and Brian Hunt. I'm out. All right, Roman Tenza here, Freestyle 5. I'm with famous vert pro and TV announcer Jamie Bestwick. Jamie, how long have you been announcing these days?
That's a really good question. I think I'm on my I think I'm about 3 or 4 years in now with NBC, and it's good. Just, from my perspective, I love BMX, so I try and bring that passion to every contest that we can put on TV, and I just feel that, I'd rather see BMX represented in a really great light and for what it is, and I just think BMX is the most amazing thing, so why not show that on TV?
Shoot, Mark, questions?
Yeah. How do you feel about being on, such a high podium spot as far as vert goes, and having that whole character in this kind of a situation, and then going and being the face behind the camera as well, like having such a large position in both the TV aspect of it, but also in the riding aspect of it?
It's an awesome position to be in, on both sides of the coin. I can be a great ambassador for my sport in vert riding and for BMX in general by going out there and doing the best I can and being the top rider, and then also I can talk about great riders on TV, and there's nothing better than that, just to let everybody know how amazing these guys are and how hard it is to compete at this level, and just how hard it is to perform under such crazy conditions. I mean, there's a lot at stake for a lot of these guys, there's good money to be made at these events, there's sponsorship, it's just everything, the social media, just the whole fame game for a lot of these guys. So it's just my job to let everybody know that, and I'm just super passionate about BMX. I hardly ever say a wrong word about it. So it's a nice position to be in. Just to have both perspectives of being somebody who can inspire people to get on a bike and tell people that they need to get on a bike, and say great things about my friends.
Cool. How do you feel about the up-and-coming riders? It seems to me that vert was seems like it was losing some popularity for a while, but within the last few years, we've definitely seen a younger crowd starting to come up and really throw down some pretty amazing tricks. How do you feel about seeing that? Does that get you excited, or do you feel a little nervous, like you got some people coming up, kind of challenge you a little bit more, looking towards the future, or how do you feel about
no,
that?
you can't look at it like, these kids are the biggest threat and I should be worried about that. Like, I'm happy when I see progression and new kids on the scene. Like, how can you not be stoked? You know that in 10, 20 years time, BMX vert's still going to be around because of these young kids that are coming into it now. And it's like, it's when you see all the Aussie kids riding park and riding dirt, and then they're transferring over to the vert ramp. Like, how can you not be stoked? Like, because that the progression is only going to get better, the tricks are going to get crazier, and that there's going to be longevity in the sport. Like, these kids are keeping it fresh, they're changing the names at the top, and that's a good thing, because if you get the same guy at the top for too long, it can do some damage to your sport.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about who inspired you when you were coming up? Who was the Jamie Bestwick for you that really kind of got you going? That you're like, I really want to do that. I'm psyched on this just from watching that.
Well, for me growing up, it was guys like Brian Blyther, Eddie Fiola, Mike Dominguez. Those were the names that I saw early on when I picked up a BMX bike, and just the pictures. Like, it's not like it is now. You can see every web edit online. You see all the latest tricks. Back then, we you had to wait for magazines to come out. So to see pictures of Brian Blyther and Fiola blasting out of Del Mar pools, it was like, that was inspirational. And then the more I found BMX, by searching out local events and finding groups of riders to go hang with, it was like then I saw, you know, English riders to be a bigger source of inspiration. You know, guys like Lee Reynolds, Stephen Laidlaw, Mike Cannon, you know, Jerry Galley. Like, there's so many English riders that I used to just want to emulate and just try and do half the tricks that they could do. So it was a fun time growing up in England. Like, the BMX scene was really strong, but I love BMX right now. I mean, there's nothing better than, you know, just jumping on the internet every day and seeing just some kid that you may never have even seen before, or just overlooked him in years gone by, and all of a sudden he's got some banging web edit, and he's already elevated the game of which genre of his riding he's putting out that day.
Well, there you have it, folks. A moment with Jamie Bestwick. Thank you.